Stand for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone to Monday, November 17th. If you have any questions, comments, please come up to the microphone, give us your name and address, state your business. Excuse me. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Cedar.
Here.
Member Foley.
Here.
Kinsfater.
Here.
Krebs.
Here.
Cuffa. Laporte.
Here.
McCartney.
Here.
Councilmember Cuffa called in. He's out of town.
Motion to excuse.
Support. Motion made, support, excuse member Comfort. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda for A, City Council minutes of November 3rd, 2014, special and regular meetings, recommendation approved. B is the St. Clair Historical Commission minutes of October 9th, 2014 meeting, recommendation received. C is the St. Clair Historical Museum and Research Center annual report, recommendation received. St. Clair Library Board of Minutes, October 28th, 2014 meeting, recommendation received. And E, resignation of Dan Lockwood from St. Clair Boat Harbor Commission, except with regrets.
Motion to approve A through E as presented, Your Honor.
Support.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can we send a letter of gratitude to Mr. Lockwood, appreciation, gratitude, and all that?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Go to number 5, Ports Administration, Mr. Booth.
Got 3 items this evening, Your Honor, and I'd like to start with an update on the streets and dim the lights. A bit easier to see. Slideshow. Leave the audience in the light. You see fine. All right. Over the past year, I've provided periodic updates on work as it has been completed on our city streets. Tonight, I'd like to provide a short overview of what we have accomplished and what remains. Picture that we're looking at right now is South 9th. I've talked before, and I will again, a little bit about the scrap tire grants. This street here will be redone with the 2014 scrap tire grant that we received. This is Cass Street, and when we're talking about streets, it's one that I guess you'd say is probably a reconstruct for the whole road, which is obviously very expensive to do. This is, I believe, Glen Eagle in the Highlands. Quite a few of the roads up in the Highlands have similar, where the road's spidered, or this one actually, the curb is actually in pretty good shape. This is Sinclair Street. If you can see the in the corner, the curbing and a lot of the curbing and stuff like that would probably need to be replaced in that area. Okay, just a little overview. I don't know if many people know, but we have local streets, 20.1 miles of local streets, and major streets, 9.08. Typically, when we get funding, federal funding, most of it is for the major streets, the 9 miles. For street funding, got primarily 3 different funding mechanisms: state gas tax, voter-approved millages, and transfers from the general fund operating millage. This is kind of just a pie chart of the breakdown on it. You can see the city property tax component, the $454,000. That's for the road work that was done in 2000 and I want to say 5-6. That piece of debt will be off from the books in, I believe, October, November 16. So you'll see a very similar amount on the expense side. So it's a good portion of our budget.
Okay, state gas tax and the general fund, which one is the gray and which one's the white there?
Gray is state.
Gray is the state? And
That's $350.
And what's that general fund number up there?
This year is
Yeah.
transfers in from the general fund. So on the
It's like
250
something.
Whoops, sorry.
255.
255? Okay.
Thanks, Igwai.
So the state gas tax, each year we get about 350.
Yep. And then you see the smaller, the purple the $0.25 we get through the county. That was approved, last year? That's it.
This is all road money then?
This is road. What I did is I combined the local and the major streets, just to report one number. And
They're gonna. The gas tax, is that specifically for major streets?
no, we get a piece on both of them, and if you look at your budget, there's, local streets is Fund 203, and major streets is 202. And if you look at those, we do get a piece for each.
We funnel
And-
that money into those funds, or is it?
What they
come
do
from the
is-
state like that?
The state comes, and what they do is they'll actually, they still cut us a check, and the check comes in, and it'll identify local street or
Okay.
major street.
Mike, do you know, the state gas tax, does that only come to us based on how much gas tax we collect in the city?
There's a formulation, and if you'd like, I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
There's a formulation I could bring in and show you how it's, divvied up.
Right.
I don't believe it's just here.
Yeah, because we only have one
It'd be
gas
pretty
station.
difficult to.
Only one in the city limits.
Yeah. On the expense side, and again, I just broke it down. If you'd like to see it in a different way, or if you have some detailed questions on some of these, I can bring that at a future meeting. Snow and ice, I think is one to point out. It's the white here. And I'll give you that total here.
178.
242.
Thank you.
Which has got good eyes, man.
Yeah.
I didn't like the colors to begin with. I was going to trade them. There we go.
Yeah.
Just walk past. Yeah. Kind of surprising. In the admin number, the 102, any health care that's related to the workers in that group gets charged on that. So that's part of that 102,000. Probably go, what the heck is such a big number for admin? But again, that's a part of it, not all of it.
The debt is 455?
455, 135, and the difference is it's a, there's a bond agency fee, it's $250 or something, or whatever the difference is between the two, between the revenues, that we don't charge against the, when we levy the millage.
And you said that disappears
2016,
so in another year.
How much of the 455 disappears?
That'd be 2 years,
All of it.
Mike.
The
Yeah,
whole
one more.
455 disappears in
the
2 years?
full 455 is one piece
Oh.
of debt, and that will come off in 16,
In 16.
16.
November of 16.
2 years from now.
It's got 2 years.
Well, not 2 years, if it's in November,
Yeah.
our year ends in
This
September.
is November.
Well, this is
next
November
year.
of 14 now, so it'd be,
It's-
I believe it's 2
no,
years.
2
but
years.
2 years.
I'll give you an updated bond schedule too. I don't believe you've had one in a year. So again, just to, I think it's good sometimes to see the numbers. All right, some of the items that we've completed or at least started, we did begin the crack seal program. Obviously, we're nowhere near complete on that. Asphalt replacement, we've done some small repairs. As far as construction goes, and again, I think we have two buckets. Either we're maintaining or we're doing some construction. And on the construction side, we have the scrap tire development grant. We did receive $226,000. Excuse me, the project is $226,000. We'll match half of that. The work is going on right now. We're going to bid it out over the winter, and with plans of doing the construction work in the spring. What do we need to do? Obviously, we need to continue on with crack sealing. Also need to continue some of the small patches where it makes sense. As far as construction goes, our letter of interest was accepted. Now we need to actually put through a final plan with the state. This year's, if we do get it, will be for $277,000. It's due at the end of December. I feel the next thing we probably need to do after that is that we need to update the roads, and again, kind of get a sequence and see what needs to be done going forward. Determine revenue streams. Is the governor going to do something and give us or help us out? And if so, to what extent? And then do we need to consider a millage? And how do we, if we do that, how do we fit that in with the expiring debt that we currently have? And then at the end, I guess we need to start fixing roads. And then I've got,
Oh, can we go back to that? I have
Sure.
2 questions. What was the scrap metal amount that we got this year? Or scrap metal,
226,000.
scrap tire, what?
226,000 is the
26.
total project. We'll match 113 of that.
Okay, and then, that's not that one. It was the next one up.
This year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, when was the last update on the roads? Because I have a survey at home that was done by AEW, but I can't remember the year that it was done on.
I want to say there was one done in '08, but
08? Was that the last? Was
we've
that
had
the last
some.
time? When did we go for that big bond?
Okay.
I don't-
Oh, that was the
Yeah,
time
I don't know, 3
we
years
tried to
ago,
go
4
for it.
years
Yeah,
ago.
and I
That's
think it
probably
was
around that
done
time
then,
frame.
wasn't it?
Yeah, same time.
Okay, so 08, all right.
I've got a few charts here, and I think it's just for purpose of, I mean, they're pretty intuitive. Bob Clegg from the city of Port Huron, he used them in some work that he had done. This here obviously makes sense. You've got along the bottom here, your years that the road's been in place and the condition. And obviously, as it ages, you would expect the condition to deteriorate. So when that road's put in place, I guess you'd say 75% of the time it's considered in good or to very good shape. I think this one probably makes, to me, a whole lot of sense. The cost of repair as the road works its way from very good to very poor, the cost becomes greater. I mean, that makes sense when you're, instead of just doing a mill and fill, you're replacing curb and gutter. It gets much more expensive. And then this here kind of ties in with the maintenance work and why it's, I guess you'd say it's important to do. You know, if you can do the crack sealing and stuff like that and or put some patchwork in, basically what you do is you kind of reset and you start over again in the useful life of that roadway. Again, I don't think I'm sharing anything here that's earth-shattering, but sometimes it's good to see in a chart.
I think it's a very good job, Mike. Very informative.
So
Appreciate
what
it.
I would suggest is, I'd say probably first quarter of 2015, if we can start doing some special meetings and
Yep. That's a good
working
idea.
towards a solution.
Yep.
I do have a question and comment regarding the crack ceiling.
Mhm.
It seems that that's been an overall success for what we've been trying to do.
I think yes, and I think it probably needs to go a little step further. Like Mr. Kleeman's here, rode up by his house, along the gutter, you need to, I guess, grout it. And if you do that, it'll stick better. So if you were to go up there, the edge was not done. So I think there's some other things that we need to look at doing
Well,
to make it a total, more of a success.
is it time that we look at our equipment pool funding and for the long-term maintenance, maybe we look at buying one of these?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have it full-time, or something we can start implementing?
I think it's part of the plan. You got to seal the cracks, so.
Yeah.
I have another comment. On South Riverside, the tire filling that the asphalt place did, when the street was put in, there were some cracks that developed, I think, within the first year, and so they crack sealed those. Then the city came and did it this fall.
Okay.
The tire is much different consistency. It's a thicker tire, it seems like, that the company put down than we put down.
Okay.
Is there?
Good question. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for that.
Okay, I just wonder if there's
Sure, a road person maybe. Bill, do you know anything about tar? I know it comes,
What, it was thinner looking.
it comes in the form of a brick, and
Okay.
it goes in the machine and they melt it down. Is there different grades? I suspect
Yeah,
there probably there
I
would
just
be.
wonder. 'Cause it
What we did
looked
is we bought it
thinner.
from Marysville,
Okay.
so it's the same stuff they're using, but different grades.
It's a start.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's gonna save that road. At least that one.
Okay, I'll finish up the next couple items, I think, and then grab the lights here. Wanted to make sure everyone knew that the City Hall building will be closed November 27th, which is next Thursday, and Friday the 28th for Thanksgiving holiday. And then the final thing I have is the M29 Bridge project. I know at the last council meeting I indicated I'd find out on pedestrian traffic, and according to MDOT, they've indicated that there will be no pedestrian foot traffic across the bridge. And then I wanted to point out one more item. With that, I do expect to receive additional information on the project tomorrow from MDOT. Once I get that, I'll share it with council, and we'll get it put on the website when we can as well.
Mike, you and I talked about it earlier, but it's probably worth mentioning again that we should, now that we know the bridge is going to close, and for the and how long it's going to be closed, and with St. Clair Highway being closed, I think it's probably a good idea if we clearly identified and marked our detours and posted those and advertised it, and that's going to keep a lot of trucks off of Palmer and Oak Street and some of those side roads that trucks, because they don't know.
What I'll do, Tom, too, I think since you and I spoke, I thought about it a little bit more. I think MDOT does a pretty good job on their website of, they actually, if you go out to MDOT, you can see, I think they have a download app for your phone, and I know everyone doesn't have a smartphone, but they do a pretty good job of putting it out there as well. So again, maybe for the truck drivers coming in, maybe it'll help some.
Well, if it's
But
posted,
we still do need to.
if it's
to mark it.
posted as a detour, GPS will pick that up and show alternative routes. They'll show a construction, so it'd be wise to do that and keep traffic going. Maybe Bree Road to St. Clair Highway, back out to King Road.
Okay. That's it.
Okay. Mr. Downey?
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
Yep.
When you mentioned St. Clair Highway, what's up with that?
Still moving.
I know that. What are you doing with it?
There's some communication with the Army Corps, and again, I think that's something that hopefully over the winter we can get some of the technical side of it done, so then we can figure out what we're going to do with it, and then start looking for some sources for funding.
You got the sources.
Pardon me?
Where are you gonna get the sources for money?
Don't know yet. My assumption would be we'd contact some of our representatives, and so when money does become available, for example, someone can't finish a project, potentially we could get some of that funds, or those funds. I'm not saying we are, but that's where we'd look.
When are we looking to get it over? And this is what the city looking for.
Realistically, if we could get some information from the Army Corps in the next couple months, hopefully, and figure out what really happened and what needs to be done so it doesn't happen again. I mean, I would hope that by next spring, summer, we can get going on this thing. I would hope that. But for me to give you a date would be impossible.
They've been working on figuring what's wrong with this since the day it happened. Over a year ago.
Bill, I think what we did is let it sit there for a while to see what it was going to do.
Anything from city departments tonight?
Not yet.
Okay.
Did you do boards?
We're right there
I'm
right now.
sorry.
We're on D, boards,
D, all right.
commissions, authorities, committees, chairs,
Yes,
council
I
reps.
have two announcements. First of all, the flower bid has gone out for bid, and it's due to the city on December the 2nd. And it doesn't say what time, 11 o'clock local time.
This is for the
And
hanging baskets?
hanging baskets, yes.
Okay.
And it's the bid is also available here at City Hall if anyone's interested, or on the website. And then the second thing is the Santa Parade is this coming Friday at 6 o'clock.
Is 6
Santa
o'clock
will
when it
arrive.
starts, or that's
Starts
when it'll
at
be
si-
downtown?
Starts at 6.
So we get downtown 20
Yeah,
minutes.
you want to get down early. And Santa will be there, and the key to the city will be given away by the mayor. And we hope everyone,
30,
It's out.
30-some floats?
pardon?
30-some?
Is that?
I thought it was the last
I
number,
heard
32.
was
That's what I heard today,
26,
too.
but
Good
yeah,
number.
that sounds good. No band this year, but we'll get a band next year.
The band's in Disney World, that's right.
Yes, yeah.
And what's the route, parade route again?
From the middle school down, Vine to, where the Christmas tree will be, and that's gonna be put up, what, tomorrow?
It's supposed to be tomorrow.
Anyway, so, it'll be there, and then, the presentation will be in the park there.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, Your Honor. I have two things as well. A continuation from the Recreation Committee. We had our meeting today. At our last meeting, it was discussed to reduce the number of board members from the current 9 to 7. I know that's something that we've been working on through the attorney's office, but we have had 2 resignations, which brought the board down to 6, and then we've had an application from a resident to bring the board back up to 7. So that application will be coming to you soon when you're doing the rest of your approvals for commissions, but we'd certainly like to continue moving that to a 7-person, just so we have a quorum. It's real hard to get a quorum from what I'm understanding from history with the commission, so. And then the second announcement is that the Fallen Heroes Memorial is moving forward. If anyone has gone down to the property in front of the senior housing, the garden area and the brick pavers have been put down in preparation for this spring installation of the statue. And I think brick pavers have continued to been sold. And the applications are available at City Hall for those brick pavers. And from my last conversation with Mr. McDonald and his sculptor in Canada is that there have been some delays. The statue will be ready sometime in January, and we're planning on a early May dedication and installation. So those people who have been kind enough to donate funds, private citizens, including Cargill, I wanted to give an update because they've been asking about the progress. So those are the 2 things I have.
All right, anybody else? No unfinished business, we'll go to number 7. New business, special events permit, Galloping Gourmet, Chief.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm in receipt of approval for a special events permit. The St. Clair Chamber of Commerce are requesting permission to hold their annual Galloping Gourmet that will be held on December the 11th from 5 to 10 p.m. They will use the downtown St. Clair streets, and local businesses will be participating in it. They have all the necessary documents received in compliance with the city ordinance, and I respectfully recommend approval for this event.
So moved.
Support.
All right, motion made, support, any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Croy's Riverside Pub Harvest Festival.
This is just for informational purposes only, just to get out that it's their annual, the LaCroix Riverside Pub are holding their Harvest Fest, and this will be held on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday would be from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Sunday from 11 to 3. It will be in the back portion of their business steps where you can drop off things that they take it for donation stuff. They just want to get the word out, the dates and stuff like that.
Is that something that they used to have for the food pantry?
I believe they're tied in
They're
with that.
just calling it something
They're-
different
Yeah,
now?
they're calling it the Harvest Fest.
Yeah, everything goes to the St. Clair Ecumenical Food
Okay.
Pantry. And I did talk to the sisters, and they said they need especially like turkeys and hams and butter and
Stuffings.
potatoes, that kind of stuff. So if you got any of that,
Thank you, Your Honor.
take, yes, sir, thank you. All right, we will go to claims and accounts for November 7 and 14 of 2014.
Hearing no questions, Your Honor, I make a motion to approve as presented.
Motion made, supported, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, number 9 is public comment. Anybody have anything tonight? All right, we'll go to number 10. I just want to make sure everybody knows Santa Parade Friday night. I also want to make sure everyone knows to acknowledge the, remember Kim's father passed away, and Butch's dad gave a lot to this community, the fire departments, police departments. Just a great, good man. So we're sorry for that, Butch.
Thank you.
Anybody else have something? Okay, go to number 11.
Hearing
Mr.
nothing
Paul.
else, Your Honor, I make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Have a good night.
Start webcasting.